Greetings everyone, I'm James Merrill of the Popcorn Ready podcast, and today's movie review will be of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So, a little bit about this film. Eddie Brock is played by Tom Hardy in this second film in this Marvel action-adventure universe. Brock and Venom are struggling to coexist and must put aside their differences to stop the evil serial killer Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson. I loved how this movie started off. It really gave you an insight into Eddie and Venom's life as it is now after the first movie, told you about other characters and about his work in life. The film dabbles with humour quite well in some of the scenes, and it really paints a picture of when Eddie starts to interview Cletus in prison, and how things just seem to escalate from bad to worse from there. Tom Hardy's performance as Eddie again was solid and is supported expertly by the love interest in his ex-girlfriend, played by the actress Michelle Williams. I actually think she's one of the grounding members of the cast that really adds a lot of depth to the film, rather than it just being a standard superhero romp with action sequences in. And as with any Marvel or superhero film, it does have to rely on a lot of special effects, which were done quite well. You can definitely see this is a blockbuster movie. My main gripes with this is generally the pacing of Venom Let There Be Carnage. I think if it would have been 20 minutes longer, or even 40 minutes longer, and they could have set the scenes up more and added a lot more tension and slow building of the action, I think it would have been a better made movie. I hope you're listening there, director Andy Serkis. It just seems from scene to scene, it feels all a bit rushed. I also think as well, Cletus Cassidy does come across as a serial killer, but Woody Harrelson could, in his acting knowledge and experience, have took the role an awful lot deeper. He isn't really menacing enough in a lot of the scenes, and I think he could have made the role a lot darker. This could have also helped if the movie would have been 18 rated, because in the comic books, Carnage is just absolute crazy. So, maybe that's something to do with it. Or maybe the script could have helped Woody out in creating Carnage to be that evil character, just completely off the chain that we would be expecting in this film. In a weird way, I actually wanted Carnage to really figurehead this film and be in a lot of the scenes, and he is, but I feel like Venom is just sort of sidetracked a little bit in the film, and really there needs to be a bit more balance of screen time with Carnage and then Venom, either separately or together. It seems they only really meet right at the end for the final fight scene, which, in my opinion, should have been 5 or 10 minutes longer just on its own, as it's a really exciting prospect that, to me, just underdelivers a little bit at the end. Carnage's love interest, or I should say Cletus's love interest in Shriek, is portrayed quite well, and it's great how you get the symbiote battling with the character Cletus in the sense of the interests of each character and what they both want to achieve. That was done very well, and I loved how the Belle scene develops and comes across, in the final few minutes. I really feel that Shriek was an underused substitute in the film. I think she needed a couple of scenes of her, either killing people or showing her evil tendencies. Because instead it's just kind of like she's along for the ride, and that there's going to be some tension or some dispute later on in the film with all the characters, bearing in mind the symbiote's two weaknesses are fire and high-level sound. But Shriek does have her odd moments, as Naomi Harris is a great actress, and when she's sort of in a locked up scene at the Ravencroft Institute, she really does get a good chance to shine. It's just when she then hooks up with Cletus after that, that she's really just a bystander, in my opinion. Another character that started off strong, I thought, was the police officer played by Stephen Graham. But again, at the end, it just seems like he's along for the ride and is just shoved into some of the final scenes. But that initial dislike for Eddie from Detective Mulligan and how Venom dislikes him in return is good to see. Does this movie feature too much, though, about relationships? Because you could say Eddie and Venom's relationship is a bit of a breakup movie in the sense of how they have their split and their arguments sort of from the middle part onwards, which distracts the audience's view, and it should be featuring a lot more action sequences and crazy moments from Cletus, aka Carnage, as well, setting up that final big boss battle between them both. Well, on to my ratings now. Is it going to be sweet or is it going to be salted? I'm giving Venom Let There Be Carnage 6.5 out of 10. I definitely watch it if you like the first movie in the franchise. As always, thank you for listening. Please remember to like and subscribe for further reviews.